Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I am Sarah, the Rainbow Hearted Witch, and I have a very special guest today, Joey Potts. She is an ordained metaphysical minister. She does tarot and oracle divinations and mentorships. So I actually met her a while back at Strega in Sierra Vista, and then yesterday I took her class, and she was wonderful, and she agreed to do this. How are you, Joey?
I'm great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I know tarot is like your love. That's what you started out doing. What drew you to tarot?
Well, besides the mystique and mystery of it all, when I was 18, I came to a point in my life where I knew there were things inside of me that I didn't like and I wanted to work on. So I went to this self-help section and read everything. And nothing was quite hitting the punch, nothing was quite getting it. And lo and behold, I turn around from the self-help section and there's the new age section with a bright yellow tarot deck staring at me and a sign that says, learn the tarot, change your life. And I took it. I'm like, all right, I bet on that. And I took it. And I have not read a self-help book since. Tarot has been my self-help.
Wow.
It has been a touchstone for me. I've always had it no matter what's going on in my life since I was 18. So I've really pulled and dissected and take it apart and put it back together. And it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work.
The tarot or yourself, like development?
Well, all of it. But yeah, tarot has been a learning journey. There's 78 cards, but so many artists out there and different perceptions, and just learning the language is something that I didn't expect going in. I thought, oh, I'll just memorize these meanings and pull these cards out and make a sentence and it'll make sense. But there's a lot more to it, a lot more mythology, a lot more psychology and philosophy, and it gets deep.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So I enjoy learning. So learning the craft and the language of tarot has been I'm still learning.
Always learning, right? I mean, it's like you said, it's so complex. Astrology, numerology, colors, everything.
Yeah. It's like a big equation.
What?
It's like a big equation.
It is. What would you say is your favorite deck?
Oh goodness. Well, what's popping right in my head is the uncommon tarot. Because it is just that. It's very outside the box. It represents archetypes from all over the world. So we get different cultures mixed in. Plus it's just beautiful. It's gilded with silver on the sides. It's gorgeous.
Oh, wow. I've never heard of that one or seen it. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's the Uncommon Tarot, and I forget the author. It's in a box somewhere in the garage. But yeah, all my tarots right behind me in the glass case. So
Nice.
behind me. So if I have to dig one out, just let me know.
Is that what deck do you use to teach your workshops with?
I teach with the Radiant Rider-Waite.
Oh.
It's where I started. And if you want to really, go to the nerve of tarot and really understand all the symbolism and everything, so important to learn that deck. Because that's the language, that's your verbs and nouns, and you have to learn those things before you put a whole sentence together. So I think it's an excellent deck to read from and to learn from. And so as I teach it, I tell people, get your other complicated decks, your more evolved, your more artistic decks, and do a side-by-side comparison with what I teach you about the magician. The magician has his altar in front of him with his 4 tools, which are the 4 suits of the tarot. So take your magician from your uncommon tarot and find the altar, find those 4 suits represented, find the tools on his altar.
Mhm.
And it's just kind of something like learn that basic language, and then you can kind of a little more conversational.
Yeah. Do you have a book that you recommend for learning tarot?
Oh my gosh, I have read over 200 books on tarot.
Wow.
But I will tell you, Eden Gray has a book called The Complete Guide to the Tarot. And she breaks down the artwork from Pamela Coleman Smith, who did the Rider-Waite. And I think that's one of the best ways to learn tarot is to look at it, not read about it, but look at it. And she writes several books on tarot, but that one really kind of, okay. It came in a big book like this with full page, black and white. So as I learned it, I took my colored pencils and I actually learned each card and meditated on them and drew them exactly how the card is. And it's a very, very good book to dive inside the cards.
Wow. So you drew your own 78 tarot deck?
Oh, just inspired from the Rider-Waite.
Oh.
So you can think of it like a big coloring book with many details.
That's cool.
Thanks.
Have you ever designed your own tarot deck that you work with?
No.
No.
My creativity with the tarot comes in how I use it and how I come up with different spreads to answer different questions. That's kind of where my creativity shines a little bit.
Mhm.
Although I'd love to create one in my mind, I would love to have an artist, but so far I haven't had that inspiration to kind of create my own. So maybe one day.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
I've looked at enough of them, so.
Definitely. Is that how, so you've read over 200 tarot books. How many tarot decks do you have? Do you know?
Count I did. I got to 55 and stopped counting.
Oh.
So I have no idea. It's probably in the 70s. And I don't use all of them all the time.
Right.
Some are specific for very specific things. And those things don't come around often enough for me to get them in the mix. I don't take all my decks to the office with me. I just take a few. I used to take them all. And
Oh, wow.
I just, my back can't handle it. So, so even with the suitcase, I had a suitcase. I still do. And I carry it with me on occasion when I have several things going on.
Oh,
So I
wow.
could keep it light from now on. But yeah, I could go drive myself nuts with trying to pick decks that I haven't used in a while, because really when I go in there in the morning before I go to the office to do readings, I'm like, who wants to talk? And I just start grabbing and put them in my bag and go. So
I was going to ask you, how do you pick which deck you use for the day?
well, sometimes if I'm lucky, I know who it is I'm reading for. And I know what decks they like and respond to.
Gotcha.
But I don't always know that. So it's always good to have 2 or 3 decks. And sometimes I will use 2 or 3 decks in one reading if I need a different take. So like I said, I get really creative when it comes to the using my decks. and the positions I put them in, and uh
Do you do you use oracle cards with your tarot readings too, or do
oh
you
yeah,
just you do?
oh yes. I love to get a different flavor in the mix, and oracle does have a distinct different flavor than tarot.
Right.
So it's nice to do like clarify a whole situation with an oracle card or two, possibly three, really helps to like sum up the reading or even start the reading. It's really nice, an icebreaker. And it's also nice to just mix it up. You know, day in and day out, if I continuously look at the same cards, I'm going, it's no fun for me. So putting those decks keeps me on my toes.
Yeah. And it's, the different decks, have different messages and different like vibes. So yeah, it's fun to work with different decks. I had a friend ask, why do you need so many decks? And it's like what you said, you want to get a different perspective or a different take.
Right. It's funny because I will pick a deck for someone and they're like, I don't like this deck. And I say, I don't think you like the message.
Right. That's probably what it is. They're like, I don't want to hear this.
I know. And I wish I could give a positive reading every time, but that's not life. Right. Yeah. Sometimes it's not always pretty.
Yeah, I saw you wrote that you like to give positive readings, but how do you go about it when there's a negative message you have to give?
That puts me in a very tight box. What I tell people is that, first of all, I am reading the here and now. So even if, we've got all these negative cards and negative things happening in your life, and I confirm those negative things happening in your life, the thing about it is we have free will. And as soon as you walk out that door, you could turn right or turn left, and everything's different. So I tell people I'm not a fortune teller. I don't read the future. I read the present. And so when I have to deliver negative news, I very much advocate for awareness. Like, you're aware of this problem, yes, and I confirm with them. And, so we talk about, all right, well, what are we going to do about this? Is this going to stand? Are you going to have boundaries? Are you going to be able to move past this? Do you want to move past this? Which is why I have a full hour for my readings, because I do provide some advisement, nothing that is clinical or anything, but it's more of like a spiritual sense and a metaphysical sense. So I always want to make sure that they are leaving on a positive note, that they are empowered, that they can do something about this.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it seems to me too, like in my experience of receiving readings and giving readings, is tarot readers are more like what you said, spiritual advisors, and they just help you like, okay, this is what's going on. What actions can you take? So do you feel that getting ordained and going to the University of Metaphysics in Sedona really helped you with like deepening your readings? Or
Oh my gosh, yes. Wow. So it took it from being on the table to being 3D. Like, my studies bled into my readings, and my readings bled into my studies. It was this symbiosis that the more I learned, the better and more psychic abilities I was tapping into. And it got, it got to a point where like, whoa, this stuff really, it is a thing, and it's really for real. And you have to pinch yourself every once in a while to bring yourself back. But I think it's one of the best decisions that I ever made. I've learned so much. My best friend is attending as well. So we like to compare notes and discuss all the things we're learning. It's just been a wonderful experience. Everything we're learning, it's just validation from everything I've learned from studying witchcraft, from studying tarot, from studying psychology and all of that. And it just all fits. And I'm so glad, I have found my fit,
That's
So-
awesome. That must feel like really good. Like it sounds like it kind of tied everything together for you.
Oh yeah. I'm helping people make positive changes in their lives as I am making positive changes in mine. It's
Right.
lovely. It's amazing.
A win-win situation.
Absolutely.
So, what is your favorite part about giving a tarot reading?
Oh, there's so many, but when I can make a story come alive for people right in front of their eyes, that for me just is like a feeling of just love in my heart, that I know that I'm doing something right. I know I'm helping that other person. When I get two cards that look alike, that are arguing against each other, or are conversing, or building up energy or building down energy, and getting them involved and seeing that, like making that connection. Like, do you see that? And they're like, oh my gosh, I see that. Yes. And then we have just goosebumps, everywhere. And then the reading really takes off. And that's my favorite. That's my favorite part, is when that connection happens and you can really start to get your client involved in the reading.
Right. It really is about empowerment. It's really, people don't understand. They think that it's you doing something as the reader, but it's really just showing people like, okay, it's seeing people for who they really are and being like, okay, I see you. This is where you're at. Let's see where you can go. If you don't like where you're at, let's change it. And that's my favorite part about tarot and witchcraft and all of that, is like making that change.
It's finding that sweet spot, right?
Right. Because it's like
you're doing something that matters, that is resonating. Yeah.
Just as long as, it's like, because so many people want to give away their power. It's like, no. You take your power back and I'll keep mine. And that's, for me with Reiki and hypnosis and all of that, it's like, that's what it's all about. It's all about the individual. They have the power, and they're really, they're just aiding, or they're allowing, and that's it. That's all they have to do.
Right.
But
right. Yeah. It, whether you're reading for someone else or reading for yourself, it's a mirror, and it will show you everything. It's like, don't look in the mirror if you don't want to see the flaws, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, because the tarot will definitely call you out. It will tell you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure.
So your IG name is Veiled Witch 74. What is the significance of the veil for you in witchcraft?
So for centuries and throughout cultures, women specifically, although men have done it too, have veiled for modesty. They cover the hair, or they cover part of the face, for centuries, for religious reasons. But in modern day, the reason why I veil in particular is that it is a reminder of my sphere or orb of protection, my invisible orb of protection around me. And every time I feel it, touch it, or, play with it, I am re-energizing that shield, that protection. So one, it kind of helps me keep aware of my protection and is a reminder of it at the same time.
Yes.
And of course, I have different sprays that I use for different purposes. So, you can have a lot of protection, like don't mess with me in your veil, and project that out. Or you could, have an intention to attract, to bring to you. So, a little bit of glamour magic, but mostly just, protection and shielding my energy. So I don't pick up while I'm reading, I'm picking into your energy, but I don't want it.
Right.
You can have it back, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that kind of helps me keep my energy at the end of the day. You seem really, really grounded.
Yeah. I mean, I've been told, and I've seen other practitioners who will, they'll either put like a bandana on, and it's really to cover like the third eye and the crown, like you said, for protection. I hadn't heard that you could use it for attracting, like, so that's interesting. That's a new concept for me. Like, are you going to go over that in your glamour magic class next month?
I will be. Yes, I will be. And everybody can rewatch this video and try to figure out my intention. Yeah. I've learned a lot. I'm still learning more. And I think in teaching and opening up the doorway to, like, hey, it's okay to put yourself out there. It's okay to use a little bit of, essential oil behind your ears to make, your words sound a little softer, more persuasive. We all need a little help every once in a while.
Exactly. Definitely. For sure. What does your daily practice for tarot look like? And then is it the same kind of for your witchcraft practice? Is it the same? Do you use tarot daily, or what does your daily practice look like?
So first coffee, always first coffee.
Yes. Always.
In hand. My wife, my lovely wife, gets up before me, makes my coffee for me. So all I have to do is pour it in my cup.
Nice.
It's wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah. So I spend a little time in gratitude.
Yes.
Then I usually start out with some light yoga. I have neck, back, lower back problems. A little movement gets my joints going. It's really hard for me to do anything else until I have a little movement to my body. So I usually do 20 to 30 minutes of just yoga stretching. So not anything too crazy. And then I come out to my cottage and I do a smoke cleanse of the cottage. Right now I'm doing mugwort because it's for psychic protection. So I have a mugwort bundle that I light, and I smoke the cottage and myself. And then I sit in dedication, and that can be saying invocations to my deities, to my guardian angels, to my spirit guides, what have you. Sometimes they look like prayers. Sometimes they look like petitions. It just depends on the day. But I like to sit and honor each of my deities and each of the energies that I work with daily. I'm always trying to keep my chakras balanced. I work very hard on working from my higher self. And when I can call my higher guides to my cottage, and I call it my homies. If my homies are around, I know it's going to be a good day. They kind of help me bless my day.
Yeah.
And then I do meditation. Sometimes that's guided meditation. Sometimes that is moving meditation if I want to take a walk around the garden, touch the earth, touch the plants, feel the air. I like to get in touch with however I can. And then sometimes I will draw a card, a tarot card. I used to be really good about daily drawing a card. But then, I have stalker cards that I, so
Yeah.
if I do a full spread and I still have stalker cards and it's fine. Um, those cards that just keep showing up and keep showing up and keep showing up. And I'm like, I hear you. I'm working on it,
They're like,
Um,
work on it faster. Hurry up.
yeah. So, yeah, I do enjoy, sometimes I really enjoy drawing from my Celtic ogham staves, which are Celtic tree oracles. And I'll have to show those to you sometime. They are the 25 trees on 25 little sticks with little symbols on them, and you can throw them like bones.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That sounds
I'm
awesome.
working on reading professionally with those. But I still don't have all of it memorized. I'm still studying. So who knows about the future, but it's fun to, like I said, mix it up. I don't want to look at the same cards all the time. So sometimes it's oracle, sometimes it's tarot, sometimes it's runes, sometimes it's the Celtic ogham. So I do like to change it up.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Runes, those are complicated. I
Yeah.
have a set, but I don't use them.
I use them for witchcraft.
Okay.
I will draw them, carve them onto candles.
Hmm.
They're the first sigils I ever worked with were runes. So they've always been like touchstone for me. I've always been like, that goes on a candle and that candle gets lit,
Yeah.
So to try and learn the divination, it's like learning a different language. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I have sounds, but they're different than English.
Right.
So that's, yeah, you're right. They're a beast.
Yeah. Yeah, using them for like you said, sigil magic is great. And I've done that as well. But yeah, actually just like using them for divination, I'm not there yet.
I'm not there either. My best friend Evelyn is going to be teaching a class on runes.
Oh,
I'm not
cool.
sure when that's going to happen,
Uh-huh.
but check that out because she has done the deep dive. I
Will
have
she
not
be
done the deep dive.
will she be doing that at Strega as well?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
cool.
Yes.
So I should keep an eye on the website.
Mm-hmm. We might
Awesome.
combine the runes and the ogham at the same time. We're not sure. So
That would be fun.
definitely in the works down the way.
Very cool. So I took the spell construction and timing class with you yesterday, and it was wonderful. And I
Thank
know you
you.
have the glamour magic class coming up next month. What other classes do you teach at Strega?
Well, this is not going to shock anyone, but I teach a tarot spell work class and how to use the tarot in your spell work and, intentionally not drawing them, but actually setting them up. For instance, drawing in prosperity using the Empress because she's so fertile and always pregnant and full of, fields and, fruit and grains and everything. So it's kind of taking the meaning of the tarot and putting intention behind it. It's a really fun class. It really opens your eyes to like using tarot for magic, not necessarily for divination.
Yes.
You get very creative with that class. Very creative.
I bet it's fun. I have a book like tarot spells I think it's called. And I use that, but I did not say do no harm in my spell, and my car kept getting hits until I got insurance money. So be very careful
Yes. Mean what you say and say what you mean.
and be specific.
Right?
And be specific. Yeah. And be specific, which is what you taught yesterday in class. Be specific.
Yeah, because bad things happen to good people,
Yeah.
specifically to angry people.
To angry people.
When you're angry,
Oh, yeah.
you are not grounded. You are not centered.
Right.
It's just like when your emotions are so high and you're crying, they come out of your eyes. So get a hold of yourself.
Definitely.
Make sure you think things through and word things through too.
Yes. And that's the key. And, like when you're starting out, you either are not precise enough, or maybe you cast a spell when you're too emotional, or you forget to say to do no harm.
Yeah. Not finishing a sentence, right? So like, I want to stop the people who stole my car. Well, I stopped them, but I stopped them and they went into a cornfield and totaled my car.
Right.
So what I didn't clarify is stop them and bring my car back in the condition it was left in,
Right.
thinking that through. And we can't do that when we're angry or when we're emotional. We can't. We're not grounded.
Right.
We're not present.
What
Take it to a few hard knocks with that. So, and I think it's important. It's an important lesson to learn. I think every witch has to learn that.
Yes.
You have to trip before you see that there's something in your way,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, and we all make those mistakes, and mistakes just let you learn and grow and be like, okay, I won't do that next time.
Yeah. And that's why I say journaling is so important. Write what you do down, write everything you do, what moon phase it was in, what time of day, what you were wearing, what incense you used. I mean, get technical. What color candle, what color sachet, what color of paper did you write your petition on? Everyone tells me like, oh, we want an advanced Wicca class. And I'm like, it's just layers, guys. Just layer it.
But that's
really
where it gets complicated. And that's where like my mind goes, it melts. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Adding one layer at a time.
Yeah.
One layer at a time. And then do a little bit more next time. And maybe throw something in last minute that's a little different than last time, right? So that's my favorite class to teach. Then the tarot spell work. And then I also have mentorship where you can have a one-on-one with me to learn Wicca and Witchcraft 101. And that is a 6-week class. We go over everything from history, what magic is. We go into like energy work, ritual work, how to compose spell work, and the different forms of divination. And then we dive into shadow work, which I think is absolutely very important for everyone to do. And then I have a tarot chakra healing. It's kind of like a one-on-one. It's 9 sessions where it's a guided meditation on that chakra that we're working on, and then talking about discussing the chakra and how it appears in your body and how.
Oh, I can't hear you anymore. What happened?
I also have
Oh,
And then we do a tarot reading on that chakra. Um, and then we end it with some very empowering affirmations to take with you.
That's
So
cool. That sounds really
it's
cool.
a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of tears. So tissues are always in my office for readings and for healing sessions. But sometimes it gets intense,
Yeah.
and we have to ground after that a session, and reading those affirmations and saying them aloud really brings the sessions together. So it's really nice taking from inspiration from different authors and then my metaphysics studies and putting them all together, really kind of uh, helps me help other people.
Mhm.
And that's my number one focus is helping other people to be empowered.
Definitely.
So yeah, I have a protection magic class. I have a glamour magic class that's coming up. And then my spell work and construction and timing class. And I have a couple of Facebook groups that I admin, and I'm always looking for new ideas. So I'm always constantly asking my students, what do you want to learn next? Does anybody want to learn this? And if I get a good number who are interested, I will do that class. So
That's really cool. So, Joey, thank you so much for joining me today. I don't know, we could continue, and so then
we
you'll
could talk all day.
do sessions, or we could just, meet up again. So it's totally up to you. But thank you so much for, letting me interview you today, and for us to get to know you.
Of course. And to those who want to practice witchcraft, if you don't want a mentor, if you want to do it yourself, read reputable authors. TikTok is for entertainment, not for research. Do your research, whatever you want to learn. If it's tarot, if it's herbs, if it's deities, if it's elements, learn from reputable authors. Do
Definitely.
the research.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Joy. And
Ooh, I appreciate it.
yes, you're welcome. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching my video. I had so much fun uploading it. I upload videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Check them out. I also have a buy me a coffee if you would like to support this channel monetarily. So the links are down below, and I will see you all next week. Bye guys.